life was so simple back then. All we thought about was going outside, having fun with our friends, and buying the latest school supplies. But it seems as if mindsets of middle schoolers and even elementary school kids has changed throughout the years. It makes you wonder what ever happened to childhood. Maybe you've noticed the change, maybe you haven't, but today I have with me Janelle Chase, a social work major at Capital Community College, to give us her knowledge on the situation. Welcome to the show. So I understand that you're still in progress with going to get your degree in social work, and you'll be working with a lot of unique cases and all different age groups. So can you tell us about exactly what you'll be doing as a social worker?
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
My aim as a social worker is to go in and help teenagers specifically, to help them build a support system, because adults tend to give up on them because they're so set in their ways. So that's why I want to go in and kind of adjust certain things in the system to help teenagers.
That seems pretty cool. It's so great to have people like you who want to help kids figure themselves out and figure out their lives. But I've noticed that kids these days are completely skipping the innocence of childhood and starting to think differently and think that there are other things more important to them now than there were before. For instance, when my friends and I were in like 3rd to 8th grade. For example, iPhones are now a big part of this generation. I've seen 7-year-olds with smartphones and 10-year-olds worrying about their Instagram likes and Facebook statuses. What's going on in, a 10-year-old's life that they need to worry about Facebook? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So have you noticed any of these changes in the teens and tweens that you've talked to?
Oh, definitely. But I feel like it's the parents' fault. I feel like the kids don't have anyone to really give them that attention. So that's why they go on social media and do what they do and portray themselves as they do.
Right. I definitely understand there. It also seems as though teens have become more sexually active. There are cases of 7th graders sending each other nudes like it's nothing, and they're dressing older with clothes becoming shorter and tighter. They're also on social media looking and acting like 17-year-olds. There's also this app called Musical.ly. I'm not sure if you've heard of it,
I don't.
but it's an app where you can post videos of yourself lip syncing and your friends can like it and comment on it. That sounds pretty innocent, but when you watch it, you see kids as young as 9 and 10 cursing and using suggestive language. There are YouTube videos of people reacting to these cringy Musical.lys because that is how shocking that they are. When I was younger, I wouldn't dare put up a video of myself looking that way publicly, but because you never know who could see it on these very public social media sites. How do you think social media apps like Musical.ly, Instagram, and Twitter have affected tweens?
They're definitely following what they see. They're following the examples that they're given. So you don't expect that you shouldn't expect them to do anything better than what they're doing, because that's what they've seen. That's what they feel that's the trend. So they want to be a part of that. So that's why I feel like they're doing what they're doing, and
I understand, I do. With all of this going on, you honestly have to wonder, where are their parents, just like you said. They give them the iPhones, they give them the computers. Do you think the parents just don't care, or they simply don't know?
I don't necessarily feel like they don't care, but it's just they don't have any filter when parenting their kids, and I feel like that's where they're lacking. They don't set boundaries for their kids. They just let them do as they please, and that's where they get it wrong. And then when they get spoiled and start, being mischievous and being very, what's the word?
Secretive.
Oh, yeah. Then they wonder, how did they get to that point?
Right.
It's because you didn't do your part. You didn't play your role as a parent. Yeah.
I understand. Since we're on the topic of social media being such a big impact on children nowadays, one person on social media that comes to mind as a huge influence to female tweens is Kylie Jenner. Kylie is a TV personality, and she's 19 years old, And anything that she does today is now classified as goals to the children. Maybe not for everyone, but, definitely
Majority,
for the tweens.
yeah.
Exactly. She's had lip injections, which caused a countrywide trend called the Kylie Jenner Lip Challenge. This is where teenagers and tweens were using household items to basically suction cup their lips to make them as large as Kylie's. The only problem was that this was causing physical harm to some of these children. She's also had breast implants as well as alleged hip and butt surgeries, and now looks like the hourglass figure that everyone sees on social media and craze over. And and makeup is definitely, a huge factor in this. I don't know about you, but the most makeup I had as a kid was some lip gloss, a little lip smackers. Now there are 12-year-olds contouring their faces before school, and even younger children becoming makeup artist prodigies on YouTube. So now this has become, the desired look for most females and tweens out here. So what would you say to tweens watching this right now who believe that social media's beauty standards is what they need to look like?
Kylie Jenner is a public figure. Most definitely. So, as I said before, that's who they look up to. So that's what they gonna follow. But I just feel like they should be themselves. Don't try to be like somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just be your own person. Don't be a follower. And not everything is for everybody.
Right.
So you just gotta find your own.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good thing you're out there. So I personally think that it's okay for kids to have some child-friendly apps, for example, Musically, but why can't they act their age when using them, Maybe what they see as they scroll down their feed on Instagram, they say, I want to look like that, I want to wear that, but there should be a point where the line is drawn between what's appropriate for teens and what's appropriate for tweens. These young boys and girls are maturing at earlier ages, and it's no longer about stuff like getting a bike for Christmas or something very innocent. Kids are pressuring their parents for the newest iPhone and that came out, and it might have a lot to do with what their friends are doing and what their friends have. And so if I could say one thing to any tween watching this, it would be don't be in such a rush to grow up or to be a teenager, because you'll grow up eventually, and you need to enjoy every day now as a kid and simply be a kid. That's all I have today. I want to say thank you to you, Janelle, so much for coming in today. I've enjoyed talking with you this morning. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you next time.